What's the deal with the worst maps getting popular? Is this just the brain rot effect coming into play? Do COD players nowadays really just want maximum engagement with minimal brain activity? I mean, some of the most popular maps in Call of Duty history, they've been truly terrible. I mean, just because you get a million kills doesn't mean it's a good map, am I right? Am I right? Comment section, please. Take Shipment, for example. I'm not talking about classic Shipment. I'm talking about Shipment in Modern Warfare 2019. Now, classic 2007 Shipment was the perfect example of controlled chaos. It was ridiculous. It was loud. It was explosive, but you always knew where the enemy team was spawning, and it was entirely possible to set up control of certain parts of the map despite how small and fast-paced it was. But Modern Warfare 2019 Shipment, it changed the layout completely, made it complete nonsense, and it was entirely on purpose. And if any ward didn't want this version of Shipment to be balanced, they didn't want it to be fair. They just wanted it to be a place where you could go grind camos forever and turn your brain off. But the whole reason people loved Shipment back in 2007 was the simple fact that it was super fast-paced as a map, and it still required you to have your brain activated. Modern Warfare 2019 Shipment can't be controlled, can't be understood. It's one of the most objectively dogwater maps Infinity Ward has ever made. Yeah, we're saying dogwater in 2026. It's also somehow not even the worst version of Shipment. Now, you may be lying to yourself and say, I mean, Modern Warfare 2019 Shipment was actually a pretty good map. I'm just too much of an old head to appreciate it, but there's no way you guys are ever going to convince me. You guys already know how expensive Call of Duty gets now between full games, Black Cell, COD points, bundles, skins. It adds up fast. So I've been using Ineba because you can get the same games, gift cards, currencies, all way cheaper than buying everything straight through the console stores. They've got deals on PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, Nintendo, pretty much everything. In the checkout process, it's super easy. I was literally comparing COD point prices earlier, and the difference is actually kind of crazy. And here's the real trick. Ineba also powers an app called SnackZ, where you can play mobile games, complete challenges, earn coins, and cash those rewards straight to your Ineba wallet. You can do it PayPal, Amazon, all that stuff. So technically, you can grind mobile games and use the rewards towards your Call of Duty purchases, which is honestly kind of broken. So far, they've already paid out over 1.2 million to players, and the app is actually pretty wild. I caught myself sitting there way longer than I planned to, so if you guys want to try it out, use my links below and download SnackZ with promo code Chaos Gaming for up to $10 sign-up bonus to get started. Then, use those rewards to save even more money on Ineba. It's like the full circle. Links are at the top of the description and the pinned comment below. That Vanguard Shipment was good. Now, there's a lot of people out there that will defend this version of Shipment. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't pretend to try. Once again, does not use the 2007 layout. Instead, it uses a completely new one that's somehow even dumber than the Modern Warfare 2019 version because it adds a bunch of annoying verticality to the mix that only serves to make the map even less predictable and even more absurd. People will look you in the face, straight in the face, and genuinely try to tell you this is one of the better versions of Shipment. And maybe they're right. Maybe they're right, but that's because there's only like 2 versions of Shipment that were good. Those being the original 2007 version and the COD World War II version, which is just a one-to-one remake of the 2007 version. Vanguard Shipment sucks. Really don't know why you people defend it. It's not because I'm an old head. It's because I want my COD maps to have actual game flow to them, and the classic Shipment proved that a map can be small and still have good game flow. And Sledgehammer knows that because they're the ones that made the COD World War II version. They know classic Shipment is great because they didn't change it at all for Call of Duty World War II's version. But now Vanguard just comes along and they completely change the layout and make it the dumbest thing ever. What's the logic there? It's brain rot. And speaking of the rot of the brain, Stakeout in Black Ops 6. Did you know there are people out there who do actually, honestly, truly believe this map is good? It's embarrassing. Stakeout had a pretty cool concept for a map, but the execution, it was messy. The only word that properly describes it is messy. It was way too tight, way too cramped. Spawns were awful. There's no battle lines. None. It's all entirely by design. This is a Call of Duty map design that includes the rot of the brain at its finest. But for some reason, there's a lot of people who legitimately think it's a well-designed map, and those people won't ever tell you why they think it's a good map. They'll just say it's good. Let's be real. They only think it's good because they get a bunch of kills and make a ton of camo progress. And yeah, they'll die a million times in the process. They won't play the objective one single time, but that's the whole point of maps like this. Maps like this, they aren't meant to be played with any kind of thought. They are spawn, shoot, die, repeat. Spawn, shoot, die, repeat. Yeah, SSDR. And the maps like that, I think they suck. It says we're on Black Ops 6 as a hate train at the moment. I'm going to keep on chugging. Let's throw some more coal in the engine or whatever it's called on an old school train. I think it is coal. Babylon in Black Ops 6. It's one of the most popular maps in Black Ops 6, and yet another example of a map that half the community thinks is terrible and the other half thinks it is the next coming of whatever. Top tier map design. I'll admit, I thought Babylon was cool when I first played on it because it's a square-shaped map that kind of funnels everybody towards the inner like an arena-style map. That's a cool idea. But is it actually good? The answer is no. It is not. It's basically just a big version of Stakeout. You run down the lanes, you fire your gun at anything that moves, you get killed by somebody who spawned in a direction that made absolutely no sense, and then you respawn, and you do it again, and again, and again. It's Groundhog's Day, all while getting constantly charged by people who are running through the middle of the area section of the map to get a drop on people who are just trying to establish some type of battle line. You could drop a lot of kills, but the spawns are terrible and the flow is way too inconsistent for me to ever consider it to be an objectively good map. But the new school Call of Duty players, a lot of you are here, they seem to love it. So, you know what? To each his own. Subjective, right? If they're happy, I'm happy, even though they'd never survive on Black Ops 1 or 2. Now, let's move over to COD World War II, specifically London Docks. Now, the maps in this game, we can all admit, were mostly terrible on launch day. I think that made a lot of people gravitate toward London Docks and think it was way better than it was. Whenever people talk about the best Sledgehammer maps, the one that comes up, and I seriously don't know why, is London Docks. Yeah, it was better than most of the other Call of Duty World War II maps on launch day. Heck, I'll even go to as far to say it was the best map on launch day. But what is that competing with? Gustav Cannon? USS Texas? Gibraltar? I mean, other crappy maps I don't even remember the names of? And even without comparing it to other maps in the game, London Docks had some serious flaws. Why did the spawn areas by the A and C flags go so far back? Why is it so easy to spawn trap? Why was that dock even there, right? The dock hut. You know what I'm talking about. What purpose did it serve other than to make a place for people to camp and mess up the flow? Again, I agree. This is the best map in COD World War II on launch day. But even at its best, I'd say it's a 7 out of 10 map. I won't say it's completely bad, but it gets way too much love. Now we get into some spicy territory. Terminal and Infinite Warfare. We can all agree, we can sit here and nod our heads that Terminal is one of the greatest maps in Call of Duty history, right? Debuted in Modern Warfare 2 is perfect. Brought back in Modern Warfare 3, perfect again. Then it was brought back in Infinite Warfare. Hey, something happened. It was the same exact layout, but now you had jetpacks and wall running, and it changed too much of the experience. That perfect flow of the original map was completely changed, and not for the better. There was also some really bizarre changes, like certain sight lines getting closed off. It completely changed the dynamic between the various power positions on the map. Terminal had been great in every boots on the ground game it's shown up in. But the one time it's in a jetpack COD, it didn't work. I mean, I love when classic maps make comebacks, but during the jetpack era, the devs were trying a little too hard to bring back the classics, despite the fact they were designed for completely different styles of gameplay. Terminal is a perfect example. And there's another one. It's actually more an obvious example. It's the third version of Nuketown. And when I say third version, I say third version because I think we have like 27 of them. Nuketown and Black Ops 3. Now, Black Ops 3 had several classic map remakes, and most of them were actually decent, but some of them were just bad. And I think the whole community can agree this was the worst version of Nuketown entirely because of the advanced movement. Treyarch tried to make it a little better for the gameplay environment by making some of the walls taller, and they added a long wall run opportunity across the side of the map over by the B flag, but there were some really weird things about the map that didn't make sense. Like, why couldn't I mantle over the trucks in the middle of the map? Why were there invisible walls over them? What's the point of bringing a classic map into the jetpack era if you're not going to let us go crazy with jetpacks? And also, it's a fact that the flow was weird with advanced movement, not in a good way. The first two versions of Nuketown were fun because they were controlled and balanced chaos. Black Ops 3's Nuketown felt like chaos because everyone was jetpacking around the map and getting in everyone's face from a million different angles, and it made it feel kind of like a mess. I love Black Ops 3, but I really didn't like this version of Nuketown. If I wanted a fast-paced, chaotic experience in the game, I'd rather play Combine. Sometimes what you need in Call of Duty is a bit of controlled chaos. A lot of people say that Shoot House for Modern Warfare was just that. But guess what? It wasn't. At least not in my opinion, it wasn't. I really think this map sucks. I know I'm not the only one who thinks if you put this map in literally any Golden Age COD game, it would only be a 6 out of 10. People only like Shoot House in this game because they were so desperate for better maps, especially fast-paced ones. So by the time Shoot House dropped, the community was willing to fall instantly in love with literally anything that gave them a faster experience than the base maps did. The map sucked. The middle lane is a camper's paradise. The second story windows are head glitcher's paradise. The side lane with the cars is another camper's paradise. The spawn areas go way too far back and make it easy for people to trap people. I mean, I could go on. Shoot House was definitely what Modern Warfare 2019 needed at the time, but the map itself is kind of bad when you actually think about it. It's absolutely not worthy of being called one of the best Infinity Ward maps like a lot of the younger Call of Duty players like to say. You only liked it because the rest of the maps in the game are worse. That doesn't make it good. And the next map on the list is going to sound like my hottest take, but I need you to stay with me. Hold my hand, we're almost to the finish line here. Favela. Now I'm talking about Favela in Modern Warfare 3 2023. Favela in Classic Modern Warfare 2 is one of the most perfect maps in Call of Duty history, but the 2023 version, nah, straight up bad. This map was not designed to be played so quickly. When you get from one side of the map to the other in a blink of an eye, it completely screws up the flow that it was designed for. The blowouts here, they were constant because the spawns were so predictable, and the crazy movement options in the game made it way too easy to completely oppress the other team without even trying. A map like this only works if everybody is taking a game a bit slower and more methodically. Favela in this game played too quickly. Turns out, what was a 9 out of 10 map went to a 4 out of 5 maybe out of 10 map? And I don't know, you tell me. And if you haven't disliked the video yet, guess what? You're about to, because my number one pick is one that I'm absolutely certain that you did not see coming. Slums. Black Ops 2. I'm going to level with you guys. I don't think the map's all that good. Yes, it's iconic, for sure. Everybody who's played Black Ops 2 has some great memories on it. Think back on those memories for a second. How many close games did you have here? Probably not that many. Now, how many complete blowouts did you have here? Probably a lot. The map was iconic, yeah. Pretty decent for modes like TDM and Search and Destroy, but the objective respawn modes like Dom and Hardpoint, Slums was honestly terrible because the spawns were so predictable and the objective placement was unfair. I mean, the B flag in Dom was stupid. It was just out in the open, no cover of any kind, and then once one team got the B flag, they would just spawn trap the other team into oblivion because the spawns would get hard locked. And in Hardpoint, the spawns were so spread out and the lanes were so narrow, it was really easy to hold down a hill with just 1 or 2 people and keep the entire team at bay, which made it boring. Look, Slums was a really good map for certain modes, but I'm not really sure why it was seen as an all-time great. It really wasn't. It actually kind of sucked. There we go. Let me know 10 maps, or let me know 2 maps that were secretly terrible that I did not mention today, and I'll see you guys soon.